You're rolling, brother.
What's up, guys? Darren Wood, Philo Fly, in Sam's attic. Today, we're gonna tie Jack Gartside's Sparrow pheasant cape. 3 different feathers from the pheasant cape. Rabbit dubbing, squirrel dubbing. I like to use olive in the rabbit, gray in the squirrel. UTC 70 denier and color wood duck. 3X long, heavy nymph hook. This is not lefty cray.
Gotcha.
Got me. This is not a lefty cray pattern. This is a Jack Gartside pattern. So yeah, let's tie it. In a previous video, I mentioned Jack Gartside's Sparrow. This is an old school pattern that imitates a range of different bugs. You can strip it as a streamer, as a baitfish. You can nymph it under an indicator, or Jack also mentioned that you can fish it as a hopper. Other cool thing about this pattern is if you have a pheasant tail skin, it uses almost exclusively pheasant tail feathers. The only other thing that we're tying in is rabbit dubbing and squirrel dubbing. We're going to make a 50-50 blend of this and then build the body. You can start your thread kind of anywhere on this shank. Doesn't matter. We're going to build a pretty thick body on this. For pheasant skin, I found these, they're kind of marabou feathers. You can find these on the tail. And I've got 2 of them here. And I'm just going to measure kind of the length of the shank, maybe a little bit shorter, and tie that in as the tail. We're going to do a pinch wrap here, lash it down. And then we're going to advance that thread up the body. You don't have to be super clean with your thread wraps here. Oops. We're going to build a pretty thick body over the top of this. Okay. At this point, we're going to make a dubbing loop. We're going to fill that with our 50-50 blend of squirrel and rabbit. And this blend looks super buggy. It's got lots of spiky fibers. And we kind of want to make a taper here. Put less towards the tip in your dubbing loop. More towards the bottom. I want to say I have probably like a 4-inch dubbing loop here. Okay. We're going to spin that up. Cord it up pretty tight. Wet your fingers and just kind of get those fibers to stick to your thread in that dubbing loop. Okay, we're going to use the rotary feature of our vise here and just advance that dubbing loop up the shank. You want it skinnier at the bottom towards the tail and thicker at the top towards the head. Go ahead and tie that off. I left a pretty good amount of the hook shank at the head of that fly. We're gonna palmer a pheasant rump feather to make a collar here. And then with these feathers, if you pluck one of them, usually attached to it there is a aftershaft feather, and you use that feather to build the head. Alright, at this point I like to measure my fibers, make sure that they're longer than the tail. I think it's pretty critical. Jack mentioned that your collar should be longer than the tail or the same exact length of the tail, but never shorter. I think it has something to do with the bug imitation or creating a cool kind of teardrop effect when you're stripping this as a streamer. I like to do about 3 wraps here. Use your best judgment on what you think looks best though. Alright, got our legs in there. Let's finish it off with the aftershaft feathers. I like to team up 2 feathers. It builds the head kind of faster and makes a thicker profile there. As I'm wrapping these, I'm kind of sweeping fibers back and doing touching wraps, touching turns with these aftershaft fibers, or aftershaft feathers. Alright, there we have it. Do a 3 or 4 turn whip finish here to finish it off. There you have it. Jack Gartside's Sparrow. Tie up a few, strip it, drift it, nymph it, however you want to fish it. Thanks for watching.
What would Lefty think about this fly?
I don't think he would think much. Actually, you know, he might actually think it's pretty good.